Sendai, Tohoku's biggest city with 1.1 million people and the place I've been lucky to call home for almost 3 years now. With more tourists visiting the region than ever before, today we're going to take a look at what to do in the city and the surrounding area. From one of Japan's most famous and picturesque coastal towns, and a local fishing port home to more sushi restaurants per capita than anywhere else in Japan, to a terrifying statue towering over the city, we'll discover some of the iconic dishes, stunning scenery and vibrant people that make Sendai a worthy weekend trip away from Tokyo. There's no way we can make a video about Sendai without inviting a local celebrity, somebody who was born here, somebody who knows the area, and somebody who's lived here for at least 300 years now. Without further ado, it's Ryotaro. How you doing?
Very well. Celebrity. You're so right about that.
I was being sarcastic. Don't
be shy. Just say the truth and you're right.
Don't let it go to your head again. Alright, so where are we, Ryotaro? Where is this picturesque place we stand upon now?
So this is where the Sendai Castle used to be at.
It used to be here.
It used to be at. There's no castle anymore, but there's the ruins of the Sendai Castle.
Yes, if you come to Sendai Castle expecting a castle, you're going to be somewhat disappointed. It got hit by lightning.
There was a fire.
It got burnt down. Like most castles in Japan, it got burnt down. Most castles in Japan are actually rebuilt, but in Sendai they didn't bother. Instead they put a big statue here of Lord Masamune Date, the guy that founded Sendai in the local area.
And tried to unite Japan actually, but he couldn't.
He couldn't do it?
No, he couldn't.
We can't all get what we want in life.
Exactly.
But if you've just arrived in Sendai, I think this is a good starting point because you've got one of the best views, the best view of Sendai by far.
Sure.
And you can also try one of Sendai's most famous and popular dishes. So while you're up here at Sendai Castle, you can enjoy the first local dish of Sendai, which is actually a milkshake, Zunda milkshake.
Zunda shake.
For the longest time, I got Zunda confused with Zumba.
That's a Brazilian dance.
Brazilian dance. Equally as intriguing. But this is made of edamame, green beans.
Green soybeans, actually.
Green soybeans that have chopped up and mixed into the milkshake. I never wanted to try it because I thought, how can that possibly be appealing? For years on end, he was like, try Zunda milkshake, try Zunda milkshake.
Well, I said that.
And I said, I'll take it at my own pace. My own pace is 3 years. And then I came up here 2 months ago, tried it, fell in love with it.
Now you're addicted, obsessed with it.
I'm addicted and obsessed with it.
How many have you had today already?
This is our third one.
Oh
but I needed 2 to remind myself of the flavour.
Reminding yourself,
yeah.
right.
And the flavour is vanilla ice cream with a hint of salt and a kind of nutty undertone that gives it a very Moorish, addictive taste. So.
Trying your best to explain how
you describe
like.
things.
Yeah.
But this is the best place to experience it, to try it, sitting here overlooking Sendai and staring at the giant, terrifying white statue in the distance.
Look at this. This is Daikannon. Actually means a goddess of mercy. And when this was built in 1991, it was not popular at all by local people, and it still isn't.
When this was built in 1991, it was the tallest statue in the entire world. Now it's only the 6th tallest statue. But as Ryotaro said, its reputation isn't that great with the locals because it wasn't built by a temple, it wasn't built by a church or anyone. It was just built by a rather rich company that had a bit too much money to spend left over. That said, it is an incredible statue and you can go inside it. There's lots of mini statues and things. But personally, I wouldn't bother. I'll just come here, get a little photo for Instagram and then move on. In recent years, Sendai A5 Wagyu has joined the ranks of Japan's top cuts of beef. And today we've come to try Sendai beef served in 4 different recipes. And joining us for our tasting is an actual genuine celebrity this time, the most successful foreign musician living in Japan, frontman of pop rock group Monkey Majik, Blaze Plum, who, as well as being a resident of Sendai, is also our friend. So Blaze,
yo,
cheers for joining today.
Thanks for having me, Chris. Appreciate it.
Difficult job, reviewing Sendai beef. By the way, Ryotaro is here. You can see him in the mirror, ladies and gentlemen, somewhere around here. Well, I'll sit here, and then we'll block him out. So this restaurant specialises in Sendai beef, and they've got a variety, pretty much every variety of Sendai beef known to man. We've got sushi, which has come out first, we've got steak, and we've got shabu shabu coming later.
And sukiyaki later on as well.
Sukiyaki later on. Sendai Gyu is one of the highest ranked beef cuts in Japan and can only be bred by licensed farmers. And with a rank of A5 denoting the obscenely marbled cuts of beef, it's not long before our favourite inevitable phrase makes an appearance.
That meat just melts in your mouth. You could probably eat it with a straw. It's just like it's
Melts in the mouth.
Melts in your mouth, doesn't
so
it?
soft.
Because we film beef quite a lot in these videos. We've used the phrase melt in your mouth maybe 300 times in the last 2 years. So we've vowed to never use it again. So now, whenever I eat beef, I can't use that phrase.
Really? Why not?
Yeah,
Just
because I
because
just feel like it's unoriginal. But it's all right. Because you're here, we can get around that. Is there another way of saying melt in your mouth without using the phrase melt in your mouth though? Because I'll be damned if there is. There isn't. If there is, let us know in the comments. Round 2 is shabu shabu. You take a thin slice of A5 beef, you put it in some hot water for about 10 to 15 seconds, and bang, it's cooked, it's ready to go. Put it in some yuzu sauce, stick it in your mouth, job done. Question is, how does it taste, Mr. Blaze? And remember, you can't use the phrase melt in your mouth.
I know. I was just thinking.
You already used your trump card once this time.
Gotcha. All right. Well, you know what I'm gonna have to say. Marvelous, marvelous. Am I okay to say that?
He's just quoted his brand new song. It's disgusting, isn't it? When you have someone in your videos and they start promoting their stuff.
Sorry.
Disgraceful.
Sorry, man. You gave me the opportunity.
Your new song is Umarvellous, which is a combination of umai, meaning delicious in Japanese, and marvellous, meaning
Marvellous.
marvellous, isn't it?
There's a dance that goes along with it too. So.
He really wants you to watch that video. Now, it is a good video, especially the 80s aesthetic in the videos.
It's an homage to our good old friends Earth, Wind and Fire.
Really.
Check it out.
So our last dish is Sendai Gyu in steak form. Blaze it's already gone. It's already. I said Blaze, let's just wait so we can film it. No, it's gone. Of the ridiculous amount of Sendai Gyu based dishes we've had today, which one was your favourite?
Well, there was a lot of beef that was eaten today, so it's kind of hard to
Staggering
make
amount.
a choice. But I gotta say the sukiyaki, just because Sendai beef, Sendai Gyu goes really well with it, just because of that sweet marble.
If you're in a hurry and you're looking to try another iconic meaty dish, Sendai's most famous food is gyutan, literally barbecued beef tongue, popular in the city since the late 1940s. Barbecued to perfection and flavoured with salt or miso, gyutan is typically served along barley rice and tail soup. You'll have no trouble stumbling upon the dish whilst wandering around the Sendai station area. Just follow the salty scent of the grilled beef and you'll be on the right track. So Blaze, you've lived in Sendai 18 years.
Yep.
Where would you recommend people visiting Sendai for the first time? Somewhere that's actually good.
I've got a great place for you guys. When you go straight out to the coast, there's another town called Matsushima. It's one of the most beautiful places you'll ever visit. Definitely on your bucket list.
Matsushima.
Matsushima, yeah.
So this is Matsushima Bay. It's one of the 3 historic scenic sites in Japan, along with Miyagi in Hiroshima and Amano Hashidate in Kyoto. It's quite a buzzing atmosphere. There's lots of things going on. Dozens of ferries going out every hour, restaurants and stalls, temples, and people here just to escape the city. And given it's only half an hour away from Sendai, it's definitely worth a visit.
So in Matsushima Bay, there are 264 islands, and the best way to see that is to take ferry, and it costs about 1,500 yen.
So if you're coming to Matsushima, the most popular dish to eat typically are oysters, which you can find at pretty much any restaurant along the waterfront. But we popped in for something a little bit more light today. This is kinako sando. The best way to describe it is it's profiterole meets meringue. It's got that kind of crispy outer shell of meringue with a softness of a profiterole.
Right, but there's a difference in there.
Right.
And so there's a cream in it, right? You find that. And that cream actually is made out of the roasted soy flour and also the butter and also egg white actually.
You know it's good because when Ryota and I are filming, we usually do a few takes, but we've only had time to do 1 take this time, given that I've basically eaten it all already.
Yeah, because otherwise, you know,
We have to go
you're not
right.
going to be able to film anymore.
We have to get it right the first time today. I think if there's one thing to do or see in Matsushima, it's this. This is Entsuin Gardens, Entsuin Temple, just behind Matsushima Bay, behind the waterfront. There's this beautiful sprawling gardens that feels like a compilation of all the best bits of Kyoto rolled into one. We've got the rock garden, we have a bamboo forest, temples, shrines, and these really cool cave carvings that look like something out of Indiana Jones. If there's one place you've got to come, this is it. I always bring people here and they absolutely love it. Best of all, apparently Einstein came here in the 1920s. So if you do come here, you're walking in the footsteps of Einstein. If that doesn't sell it to you, nothing will. Just 10 minutes south of Matsushima is the port town of Shiogama, which holds the record for having the most sushi restaurants per capita of anywhere in Japan. That's not just because Shiogama is historically a major port town, but because of the way the tuna is supplied to the local sushi restaurants. So if you're in Sendai, if you want to get some sushi, you want to get the best, freshest sushi around, most people come to the nearby town of Shiogama, which is just next to the city, on the coast, and in between Matsushima and Sendai. Shiogama, what does literally Shiogama mean?
Well, shio means salt, and gama means pot.
Salt pot, that's how you remember it.
That's right.
Get that meme in your head.
Yeah, Shiogama faces the sea, and they used to make salt
Right.
from the seawater.
Okay.
Because Shiogama's got the biggest raw tuna market, right? So when you go to a sushi restaurant,
Surely all sushi's raw though.
well, it is, but when you actually when the fishermen catch sushi, right, they actually make tunas frozen normally.
Right.
So when they go to market and defrost the tuna, right, and that's how it's delivered to the sushi restaurant in the end. However, in Shiogama, it's the biggest raw tuna market, so it gets refrigerated only. It doesn't get frozen. So when you eat the tuna, it comes in in the freshest state.
It's about as fresh as it gets.
Exactly.
So why are we still talking?
Dig it. This is seriously good. Amazing. Obviously, you can get sushi anywhere in Japan, and they're all fresh. But the quality and cost performance and
Cost performance.
yeah, definitely.
Good cost performance. What an elegant, romantic way of saying.
Explaining.
You can taste the cost performance. That's good. Earlier on, Ryotaro mentioned that the best way to see Matsushima Bay is to hop on a ferry. But if you have a little bit more time to spare, or you just love fishing, there is a slightly more adventurous alternative available. So we're out here in the middle of Matsushima Bay on what might be the world's smallest boat. It's a little bit scary, but other than that, it's a very calm, beautiful evening. There was a typhoon yesterday that swept through the area, and we're now experiencing the calm after the storm. So it's very nice. Today, if we don't catch any fish, we don't have any dinner. So let's go and see how Mr. Ryotaro is getting on with the fishing. How good are you actually at fishing?
Very good. Very good.
Genuinely?
Oh yeah, I mean, like last time I fished and I was 12.
Oh.
And I was really good back then.
Did they have fishing rods back in the 1920s?
Here you go. Okay.
Even Ryotaro caught something.
Yeah, I did. This is going to be a tempura. Yeah, look at that. It's haze. It's a gobi.
So while I've been flying the drone, everybody's been picking up sticks and just been beating the sea, hitting the sea. This is either some weird Japanese tradition that I don't know about, or there is actually a reason behind it. Let's find out.
So we have set up a net, and we actually hitting the surface of the sea to actually surprise the fish. That it goes all the way there, it goes into the net. They all said there's no point of actually fishing with a rod when you actually do this, because they get a lot of fish by doing this.
You're just banging it on the side of the boat. You keep missing. Having beaten the sea with sticks for 20 minutes, we reel in the net and head back to shore to turn the spoils of our trip into a fresh, mouth-watering supper.
So, welcome to Ryotaro's kitchen.
God.
And what we've got here is we actually...
It's the channel nobody's been waiting for. So this is it, the spoils of a fishing trip well done. I'm pretty happy with what we've caught, what you've caught, well done.
Yeah, thank you.
You actually did something of value for once.
The Greater Sendai area is the perfect place to spend a weekend away from Tokyo. If not for the city, then certainly to escape to the coast. For more information on all the fantastic locations we visited on our trip, you can find all the details in the description box below.
But as always, guys, thanks for watching.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time. Let's go and enjoy Ryotaro's cooking. I love how you've got these freshly caught fish, then we've just got some hot dogs.
Some hot dog there.
Freshly caught from Matsushima Bay. Umarvellous. To be fair, that could be a really good brown breaking.
Brown break. What are you talking about?
Jesus Christ.